the inauguration of George Washington. That inauguration, it set the stage for everything that was to follow with the federal government. So they want that to be very successful. And how do you set the stage and how do you set the tone? And what do you do to start something that's never been done before? Well, what they did was the first activity of the inauguration was that they called the city of New York to come pray together. They rang the bells and they asked people to go into churches and pray leading up to the inauguration. Then when the inauguration began, George Washington and the House and the Senate met together. They're in Federal Hall in New York City. And after they opened Congress and George Washington's there, he walks out on the balcony where all the people are watching. And as there on the balcony, he takes the oath of office. Now, he took the oath of office required by the Constitution and he added the phrase, "So help me God." And that phrase was required by state law in many of the states, but it wasn't in the Constitution, but Washington put that as part of his oath. Next, he took an oath on the Bible, which was open to Genesis 49. And then after he took the oath on the Bible, according to this newspaper, which is a newspaper from the inauguration 1789, it says that he leaned over and kissed the Bible, showing his respect and reverence for God's Word. He then began his address to the people below, his inaugural address, the first inaugural address in American history, and he started with offering a prayer himself. And then he asked the people to pray. And once he finished his inaugural address, the next thing they did, the House and the Senate and the President, they had a parade. But not like we have today, because they had a parade that led to church. They all went to church together, and when they got into church, the chaplain of the Senate, the Reverend Samuel Provost, he preached a sermon, he taught from the Bible, they had Bible lessons, they had prayer, and they had worship. And then after they finished that church service, they all marched back to Federal Hall where they go into Congress and they closed the inauguration. And that inauguration was filled with religious activities, and this is how our nation began.